You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
Well, guys, the other day, Stephen A. Smith and Monica McNutt got into it on First Take. Monica McNutt went off on Stephen A. Smith. I believe that whole segment lasted like 40 minutes without a commercial break. Molly eventually said, "Hey, we got to go to a commercial." Monica McNutt called out Stephen A. saying, "Hey, you could have been talking about women's sports 3 years ago," and he was stunned. He was absolutely stunned and shocked, saying, "Hey, we have been at the forefront of talking about women's sports. We've actually had females on the show." And boy, I really wish I could have saw that whole 40-minute segment, but I didn't. I'm not going to actually go back and watch it. But apparently, man, Stephen A., he really did not like that, man. He didn't like that. So they come back the next day, and Monica McNutt is on there, Shannon Sharp, Stephen A., and the woman that works for ESPN, also a WNBA player. I can never pronounce her name. Not trying to be disrespectful. Shanae Omaki or something like that. See, I can't pronounce her name. Okay. But anyway, Stephen A. Smith has some words for people that are outside of First Take that have been coming down on him. He just flat out said, "You can kiss my ass." Yes, he said that on ESPN First Take. Let's get into it, guys. Make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel, become a channel member live stream every single Friday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. We appreciate the support. So here we go. Right here, check this out. Kiss my ass. Stephen A. Smith scolds his detractors in response to backlash from viral exchange with Monica McNutt. Now in this clip here, they're all, making nice, but Stephen A. is going to push back against people that didn't like what he had to say. Says here, Stephen A. Smith was unfazed by the criticism he received for his exchange with ESPN analyst Monica McNutt on Monday's episode of First Take. The back and forth occurred during a lengthy conversation about Indiana Fever guard Caitlin Clark and Chicago Sky guard Kennedy Carter. I just found out that's the way you actually pronounce the name. Yeah, not with a K, with a CH. But anyway, in a weekend game between the teams, Carter shoved Clark to the ground after Clark elbowed her moments before. During the First Take segment, McNutt criticized the media for the way it's portrayed the entire WNBA as having animosity towards Clark. When Smith defended First Take by claiming no other sports talk show talks more about women's sports, McNutt said Smith could have used this platform to do so years ago. And then that's when he was stunned. But this is the clip from the show from yesterday where I guess they kind of cleared the air here. So let's go ahead and play this.
Can I make this point real quick to y'all? There's a lot of people that come after us on First Take because we're number one, but most importantly, because of the subjects we're willing to attack. Monica and I disagreed with each other a little bit yesterday. I love you, girl. You know that.
Ditto.
I love you too, Chanae. You know that. You know I always got y'all. Those other folks out there can kiss my ass. We gonna win. We're gonna sit up there and do what we do. And we gonna do it by making sure we attack and address the subjects with the realness and the authenticity it deserves. That's what we do on First Take.
Yeah. Well, you see what they try to, Stephen A., what they try to do, they try to put, Monica on this side, Stephen A. on that side, Shannon on that side, and they try to split us up to try to attack each other. That ain't gonna work with me.
It ain't gonna work.
This is an opinion-based show.
We could disagree.
Monica had her opinion.
Ain't gonna be no
yes, we can agree to disagree.
Okay. I see what Shannon's saying, that it's an opinion-based show. You can have different opinions, but a lot of people have speculated, man, that that is somewhat staged. Like you can't have two people agreeing on the same thing. Remember when Skip was on the show and they would actually talk about Tom Brady? Skip would be pro Tom Brady and Stephen A would be anti Tom Brady. But when Skip left and Mats was on there, Mats was anti Tom Brady, and then Stephen A. Smith was actually pro Tom Brady. Yeah.
Stephen A. has his opinion. I have mine. Shanae has hers. Monica has hers. We're okay.
Listen, I want to add this, and then I want Shanae to wrap it up because she's joining this conversation. I think y'all, and I'm sure Shanae can relate to this, there are layers in this conversation. We just tackled 3 of them. Yeah. What is fair game in terms of competition? What is unacceptable in a game of basketball? And race, right? And we didn't even go that deep, but these are things that as commentators, we're making observations. And to your point, we may not always agree, but I think for me, as we move forward and have these conversations, there is just, and I know this is a part of your process, SA, and I know it's a part of your process, Unc, and I want to encourage fans to join us in this process, there is just a mindfulness. That's the only thing that we would ask because of the 3 things that we just mentioned. The last one in particular is always charged in this country. And so when you talk about a league that is predominantly black, and then we start to have this conversation about Caitlin Clark, who is great and is going to be fine in this league, the words matter.
Yeah, totally agree with you, Monty. And I think a lot of conversation has also spilled over to why we, Monica and I, and so many women, Molly included, have seats at the table. And when you occupy a space that is not necessarily built for us, Monty does a fantastic job with the New York Knicks. I'm covering NBA Countdown. You need allies. And there are a lot of people that contribute to our success in these spaces. Stephen A, Shannon, Stephen A, you've brought me on First Take for a long time, since before people knew my name. Shannon, you brought Monty on yesterday to continue the conversation. I think that's fascinating. But when it comes to who made us, who made me, Monica, Molly, I mean, this is me personally. I'm made by God. I'm made by Peter and Evie Ogwumike, and by our hard work and ethic and also our perspective. And we are products of a game that has transformed our lives, but we are also witnessing the intersection of so much. And I think it's very important that we continue to lean into the voices that not only have lived the game, but understand it and can advocate it, but also keep it real. And I think yesterday what the world witnessed was keeping it real, but also keeping it together today, because we're all.
Yeah, so you guys see that right there. Of course, you know, they got to bring up race and everything. Race shouldn't have any part in sports. But the media, you know, they definitely have to play the race card. They have to do it, you know, especially being on ESPN. It says here, Smith later responded on the Stephen A. Smith show by doubling down and listing various female analysts who have appeared on First Take. Because Monica McNutt actually said, well, you could have been doing this 3 years ago. This is what Stephen A. had to say.
You ever heard of Monica McNutt? You have now, because she's on First Take a lot. Shanae Ogwumike, absolutely wonderful, spectacular basketball analyst, et cetera, WNBA player in her own right. Ask her how it's been to be on First Take. How about Andrea Carter, who's a rising star in this business? How much do you think First Take helped that? What about Kimberly Martin? What about Molly Kiram herself? Now, I have sat back for years and taken a lot of shit from people. Some who don't know what the hell they're talking about. Some who act like they don't know just because they want to get at me. I could care less about people getting at me. I just want you to be accurate. And it is highly offensive to me when somebody implies or flat out states, like Monica McNutt did this morning, which was factually incorrect. I challenge anybody to find a show in sports television that discusses women issues, that discusses the WNBA or women's sports, that highlights and profiles female analysts more than First Take.
So they have right there. Now, that particular clip was actually before the previous clip. Now, this was on the Stephen A. Smith show, I believe on June 3rd. And the This other clip you watched was actually from on June 4th. But there you have it, man. Stephen A. tried to clear the air and basically told his detractors on that situation with Monica McNutt to go and kick rocks. He said, kiss my ass. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and white sports fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.